The book, by the way, is called Unspeakable Girl,
Hmm.
and you can go to unspeakablegirl.com right now and download it for free.
Really?
I'm just giving it away.
Oh, that's nice.
You
You're
know,
like you too. You're like the
well,
Bono of the literary
well, the
world.
reason I'm giving it away is because I want people to talk about it, because I think if they read it, they will. All right, so this is the introduction of our main villain. When Dante Darko passed by the phalanx of paparazzi outside the Ivy in West Hollywood, he smiled and posed obligingly for the photographers, welcoming them to snap his picture, but none did. This infuriated him. Why would he even think they'd want his picture? Because several years ago, a young green paparazzi flashed his picture, mistaking him for somebody. Then other paparazzi reflectively started shooting too, but seconds later they put their cameras down when they realized he was a nobody. Since then, and whenever he passed by paparazzi, he posed and smiled, trying to recreate those glorious few seconds of fame, a dozen cameras flashing in his face. Now, every time they ignored him, which was always, he became infuriated at their rejection. Among the paparazzi, he was known as Mr. Deluded. In Hollywood, Dante Darko had, over the years, held a variety of jobs. He'd been a junior agent at ICM, briefly, and a lower-level development executive at 20th Century Fox, also briefly, and now in his mid-40s, his business card read Dante Darko, talent manager, though no one knew any talent he managed. From his remote corner table at the Ivy, he could take in the whole patio and see all the industry folk, most of whom he recognized. 2 tables away was a director whose first feature was just nominated for an Academy Award, but when she caught him staring at her, she wrinkled her nose in annoyance and quickly looked away. "Who are you to snub me, lady? Someone who's been in Hollywood all of 5 minutes?" When she caught him staring again, she gave him her most contemptuous look, ignorant of the fact that he had a small but lethal Sig Sauer P238 in his jacket pocket. "Go ahead, give another stink-eye look over here," he dared her in his mind. Emily, the new waitress, already had her inexperienced hands full working several tables of VIPs, so she was less than thrilled when the maitre d' added Dante to her burdens. "Hi," she said to him in her friendliest tone she could muster. "Can I bring you a drink to get you started?" "Just water, please," he said, then added, "I used to drink, but I gave it up when I started putting on weight. I like to keep in shape, as you can see. I go to Crunch on Sunset." She gave him a strained smile, thinking, "Jesus, did I ask for your bio? I'm busy with 5 tables, and one of them is a studio head." "Aren't you pretty?" complimented Dante. "Actress?" Emily thought of just turning her back, but she was a new employee and needed the job to pay for her graduate school in psychology. "Nope. Do you know what you're going to order, sir?" With a derisive laugh, he said, "No, I just sat down. How could I?" Then his voice grew louder, and he asked, "I'm sorry. Am I inconveniencing you tonight, miss?" "Oh, no, not at all. I'll bring you your water right away." Intermittent explosive disorder was her flash diagnosis, and she couldn't get away fast enough. Dante scanned the patio and spotted a familiar face, a man he'd personally had dealings with. "Is that Andy Lubbock?" "Yes, it is." He made a beeline for Andy's table. Andy Lubbock, née Andy Shlomowitz, was engaged in an animated and flirtatious conversation with his studious-looking date, Amy Bass, a stylish brunette wearing Warby Parker glasses. Standing over their table, Dante wore what he thought was a charming, mischievous grin, which was actually more malevolent than mischievous. Finally, Dante said cheerfully, "Andy Lubbock," as if greeting an old friend. Andy looked thoroughly confused. That's me. Can I help you?" "Don't tell me you don't remember," Dante said, overplaying his hurt to what he thought was comic effect. It wasn't. The mock hurt turned to real hurt as Dante said resentfully, "I can't believe you don't remember." The bitterness in Dante's tone was alarming. You'll have to remind me," Andy said nervously. "You do remember Barbara Smalls at 20th, right? She was the one who got your Everybody Loves Raymond spec to Phil. Well, I was the one who got your script to Barbara." Dante's claim of helping him early in his career was news to Andy, but he had a naive tendency to believe people. "Well, is that right? Well, I really have to thank you then." "Yes, you do." Put off by his tone, Andy replied tersely, "So thank you." Then he abruptly turned back to Amy, dismissing Dante, who would not be so easily dismissed. "And now you've got 3 big comedy hits on NBC. You're the Monday night comedy slam," Dante said, switching to an admiring tone. "Well, yeah, I got lucky. Great seeing you again, Dante. Take care," he said, dismissing Dante yet again and turning back to Amy. Then, just when they thought that they'd heard the last of him, Dante exploded. "Never say it was luck. False humility is such a bunch of crap." Amy mouthed silently to Andy, "Call 911?" Andy shook his head no, but looked up at Dante and said in a businesslike tone, "So, Dante, if there's nothing else I can do for you." Dante answered, "Nope, not at the moment. Just know that I'm very proud of you, Andy." Who was the schmuck to be proud of me? "Thanks," he said, and turned back to Amy. But strangely, Dante still just stood there until Amy said irritably, "Look, we were having a private conversation." At that, Dante shot Amy a poisonous look which scared the crap out of her. So she said sweetly, "That is, if you don't mind, Dante." Her contrite tone mollified him, so he put the thought of reaching for the Sig Sauer P238 out of his mind for the moment.